Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, you have no idea what I go through in these commercial breaks. It's the In Wheel Time car show. Just ahead, we're going to talk to, hopefully, Seth Angel, president of Houston Raceway Park.
There he is.
And talking about the pending closure out there. Mr. Mars reviews the 2021 Wrangler 4XE. Conrad has the events calendar. I'll have this week's Auto News headlines. We've got that and more coming up just ahead on today's In Wheel Time car show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin.
Yep.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us today. And we're also very glad that we can be joined.
You hear me?
By, yes, we can hear you just fine. Talking to Seth Angel. So let's just get him right on the money, shall we? There he is. Hello, Seth Angel. It's good to see you, buddy.
Good morning, guys. Pleasure to be on.
Well, I guess you've had tons of phone calls. Everybody in America is going, what in the world is going on? You're closing Houston Raceway Park. Where are we going to go drag racing? So you have to fill us in. What's the story? Tell everybody about it.
No, sure. I appreciate the opportunity. I think the release we put out is pretty, self-explanatory. I think, internally we knew this day was approaching maybe faster than we wanted. But, at the end of the day, our family decided we were going to move on and maybe turn the page to the next chapter in our lives. And unfortunately for us and for our fans and partners, that's closing the racetrack down. We've had an incredible 35-year run. And, for us, we decided to maybe do something different. But I think, for us, we've got another 9 months where we're going to put on the most incredible races that will culminate and end with our Spring Nationals in April of 22. And I think it's going to be a nice celebration and really just a tribute to all the great things that we've had happen at the park over the last 35 years. And so we look forward to that. And we look forward to delivering that to our fans and our partners and all of our stakeholders that have supported us for 3.5 decades.
Well, let's face facts. The bottom line is that piece of property where the track is, 30 years ago, there was absolutely nothing out there.
It was dirt.
Yeah. And now that, the Grand Parkway is almost completed going out that way, and all of the warehouses, and I'm not talking about Grandma's warehouse down at the end of the block. These are massive warehouses, million square feet warehouses. That property has become a lot more valuable than that raceway.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to, sugarcoat anything. You're right. 35 years ago, it was a rice field, and today it's much more than that. And maybe we just because of the overall growth in our region, and many people don't know, or maybe they do, is that Houston, especially on the east side, Houston's the plastics capital of the world, and so there's so much going on. In the industrial sector, the industrial, we're in industrial revolution. It is what it is. And so, we were obviously aware of, how valuable that piece of real estate was. And, 35 years is a long time. And, the racetrack, we put in, just the maintenance of keeping a 35-year-old facility in tip-top condition. That's very, capital intensive. And so for us, we got into an arrangement with the property owners who own the property now, and that was back in the fall of 2018. The transaction for the real estate took place in the spring of 2019. But when we did this whole process, we were very aware that we could not just do, say, for instance, what Englishtown did with the NHRA and just all of a sudden called them and said, "Hey,
shut down." Yeah,
we're done, and it's over with. We knew that we had some agreements in place and some obligations, not only contractually but just just to our fans, to see it ride out and put a finale that everyone would deserve that'll take place next year. So, we have ran, 3 races since that announcement came out, 3 consecutive years. And I think we were proud that we got to run in 21 in 20 with the pandemic. So it's been interesting, 36 months since all this has kind of come to fruition. And for us, we think over the next, going into the fall and going into the spring, with our national event, we think that everything we're going to do is going to be, on steroids when it comes to how well and what we're going to deliver to our fans. It's essentially everything we do in the fall will be our last fall event that we do. So we've got some great we've got a great portfolio of events that we're going to host that are staples on our schedule every year. Those promoters and those fans will be ready and amped up. We're going to be ready to go. And, when we get to that last weekend in April at our national event, it's going to be special. And we encourage everyone to be there. I will tell you, next week we will launch our probably most aggressive and robust ticket renewal campaign for the season, for the national event and our finale. And I think the fans are going to see and want to be there to remember what we do and for that event weekend.
Oh yeah, I was there in the beginning when NHRA started coming, and it was so cool to see the facility open up in Houston, and then to talk to back then, I was with Oldsmobile, so I was talking to all the Pro Stock guys, and how proud they were to come to Houston because you were the place they would go in the beginning of the year. And you used to hold like the Pro Stock prelim show there in January, and they would go there. And then when the event would happen, it was the record-setting event, and they all looked forward to coming to Houston because generally the air was good, the altitude was good, all of the air density things, all of that was great in Houston in most cases, and everybody be banging out records. I'm sure somewhere you've got some historian that's going to count down all of the records that were set at Baytown over the years, and that's going to be volumes long between all the different classes.
Agree. Even
if you just did it on the pro classes.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and even in the release we put out, a little over a week ago, we made mention of some of those highlights and those key things that have taken place, and there's so many more that we couldn't mention because, as you just said, the list is so long, and so these next 9 months will be a tribute to all these things that have taken place over the years, and look, we're to say that we are. We're sad is an understatement. This is going to be a massive change in the landscape of motorsports in Houston, and we understand that there's going to be a void there. I would not be surprised. Look, people ask, well, where are you going next? Were y'all building another racetrack? And the answer is no, we're not building another racetrack. But I would not be surprised if someone somewhere in our region will make that investment.
Have you had somebody contact you yet and say, "Hey, Seth, will you help us open up another racetrack"?
No. I think
you want me to make that phone call.
And I have 2 questions beyond that. Go.
Look. So I think Houston is obviously the 4th largest city in the country. It's got an incredible fan base. And so people were like, well, if you're saying all these great things, well, why are you closing it down? And
time to move on.
We don't own the property anymore, and it's going to be developed, and that's the short clip notes.
That's part of that growth, though, that Houston has. Because it's happened to other places where racetracks, even small airports, have been squeezed out because of the growth. Right. It's time to,
because as residential moves in around you, they all fuss about the fun 100,000 people are having out at the track listening to the nitro cars go.
And I have 2 questions.
Yeah. And if you were to take a kind of aerial shot and look at the racetrack and look what's happened around it, and just maybe kind of snapshot 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 8, you would be amazed at what you would see and what's built around you. And not only industrial that is coming in and I wouldn't call it pushing us out, but, industrial is obviously, you can clearly see these million square foot infrastructure, buildings going up. But if you look even just north of us along Kilgore Parkway, there's residential apartments that are going in. There's residential neighborhoods going in. And so, look, I have to deal with it every day.
Right.
I can feel pressure from, our cities and from the county and from the residents and people who live around there. It's becoming harder and harder to do what we do without these restrictions and guides in place to say, look, you can only run this late, you can only be this loud. And so as we move on in the next year, 2, 3 years, for us, even if we were still there running, it's becoming extremely hard to just do what we do and not, bother or interfere or create a lot of,
heartache in the community.
For, the neighboring residents.
Seth, I've got 2 questions for you. Number one, what are you going to do beyond this when that date finally comes? Second of all, what about that Christmas tree? You want to donate that Christmas tree there to In Wheel Time? We'll put it here in the studio. What happens to all the infrastructure at the track itself?
Well, let me answer your second question first. So look, there is obviously a large amount of inventory and infrastructure that can be removed and taken somewhere else. I.e. grandstands, as you mentioned, the Christmas tree. And it's been interesting the phone calls and emails that I've gotten. Everybody wants the Christmas tree, so I don't. So I think that's look. I think we'll do some cool stuff with that. And I'm not going to rule out we would auction off for some charity and do some cool things with it, because that's a part of Texas history that I think would be pretty special to maybe auction off. Who knows? But yeah, look. So what happens to everything? It gets taken down. All the buildings get taken down. The grandstands will more than likely get disassembled and repurposed somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Some of which have already been spoken for, and once we do close, and then there's a bunch of equipment. There's all kinds of things that will clearly won't have a use for, that will be sold to other facilities and venues that have interest in them. So that's number one, or the second question. The first question is what am I going to do? Great question. I'm 39 and I feel like I'm in the prime of my career, and so I'm certainly not done. I would not rule out, staying in the motorsports arena in some fashion. I'm fortunate that I've got a great family support system around me, and so I've got time to do that. And I'm sure I'll land somewhere and contribute as best I can.
Well, you got a whole bunch of racers that love you, and I've known you a long time. Let's just leave it at that. Since you first started coming around, and we started coming around out there to Houston Raceway Park. So I know that you're going to land somewhere special, and it's going to be just right for you. These are friends and family that you just don't lose, because anything motorsports, anything to do with family, cars, they are family. They might not be direct family, but they certainly are, Stan Holt. The list goes on and on. We know so many people in the sport, and they all love you, and we know that things are going to go well. But the focus now is to get it all the way to April 24th, and at 5 o'clock, hopefully, when that event comes to an end. And I got a feeling it's going to be a great celebration, and what a week that's going to be for you.
Yeah, it's going to be special, and we encourage everyone to be there to witness history and watch the final pair of cars go down the track on Sunday afternoon, and all the incredible things that we're going to do around that event. On the event weekend and certainly leading up to it. You're definitely going to know that we're there.
Well, before I have to make the other phone call, are we welcome back again next year for the final event?
Sure.
You have an open invitation.
Thank
so
you. Thank you very much.
Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. Well, we've certainly enjoyed the years that we've been out there and doing the broadcast from there. And with the help of the folks at Toyota and all, we've gotten a lot of drivers that I don't think that anybody else could have ever had on the air like we've had, including, ESPN or Fox or whoever it is that's out there doing television. I mean, we've had as many drivers on our show in a 3-hour period than they have over an entire weekend. So, there's something to be said for that. We've had such a great time out there and have learned so much and have found out about all of these drivers and their personal lives and what motivates them to drive every week when they go on the NHRA circuit. It's been a real experience for us as well.
We've enjoyed having you guys, and it's an honor to be able to have you guys host your show there and interview these great drivers and just talk about motorsports and do what you guys do. You guys do an incredible job.
Well, thanks. We appreciate that. So I guess that what we'll need to do is we're going to need to check in with you when you get the ticketing stuff all lined up for next year, the season passes and that sort of stuff, and we'll check in with you at that time. Do you have a guesstimate as to when that's going to happen?
Yeah, so I think we will launch officially next Wednesday our season ticket holder renewal campaign that'll take place over 30 for a month, and then tickets go on sale to the public in mid-September. And, so we'll get that all sent over to you guys, and you'll start seeing a lot of stuff on social and on our website here in the next week.
And we'll keep it up on ours as well to help support you.
Yeah. Well, Seth, it's great to talk to you, and we'll let you get back to your weekend, which you always deserve, and we appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks very much.
All right.
Thank you,
Seth
sir.
Angel, president of the Houston Raceway Park, and
what a guy.
Yeah.
I was out there at the first NHRA event, and what a great facility. Do you remember, it was probably back when you were racing, they had a problem with water seeping through the track at the concrete to asphalt transition.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was like Friday night it was an issue. Saturday they put some kind of plumbing underneath it and, just what they do for a living and got it to drain so that Sunday there wasn't any issues. But how quickly they reacted to something they weren't sure was an issue at the track.
Or just popped up. Yeah.
And it was
so last Monday or Tuesday, we were actually sent over to the racetrack, and because the TV station wanted to do some video, and I got to shoot some video from there, and it was pretty spectacular, I think. But I didn't. You don't realize when you're there how close the bay actually is. It's like a mile and a half down the road. That's it.
Down 99 till you hit the bay.
That's sea level right there. Yeah. If that track is 2 feet above sea level, I'd be surprised.
I thought it was like 15 feet.
I don't know, man.
No.
But that's what's made the track's performance historic.
Yeah.
Because,
lots of records.
I remember there was a point in time where some event was going on. I was hanging out with a couple of guys, and they said, the air is like 300 feet below sea level right now. And they were just banging out records in nitro and naturally aspirated cars because the air was that good. That is going to be impossible to replace.
Yeah.
It will,
Good
but
point.
it's like he said, it's time to move on.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Somebody's going to come along.
There's always a new time.
Yep. Hey, I did want to mention to you, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Send us anything, and Mr. Mars will have it on his computer the next day.
Because he has to handle it.
Exactly. All right, time now for the events calendar, and Conrad's got that.
Oh, boy.
There's plenty of events. Summertime, here we go.
Yep. Well, again, every weekend is Nifty 50s tonight at Grogan's Mill, Kemah Car Meet down in Kemah. Tomorrow is Houston Cars and Cocktails at Little Woodrow.
There you go.
Cocktails.
And then also tomorrow is Cars and Cocktails Founders Meet at the Kirby Ice House on Memorial. So that should be, and I'm going to assume that's going to be a pretty high-level cars, Lambos, Ferraris, kind of things. Also,
20-year-old Corvettes.
I was thinking the same.
20-year-old Corvettes. And then also tomorrow is Extreme Off-Road and Performance. They're going to have their meet from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then Friday nights is at 99 and
59.
And 59, which, Randy, we were talking about that earlier, and that's
Up
every
on the
Friday
north
night.
side.
Up on the north side of 59, and that is generally a huge meet. I'm talking 150, 200 cars. So
Because there is a 99 and 59 on the southwest side, too.
is there a 99
Yeah.
on the south side?
Just to be clear, he's on the northeast side.
Oh, that's right. There is. There's a Cabela's or a Bass Pro Shop or something down there.
No,
Yeah.
Academy.
So
Whatever. All right. Well, are you done?
well, and then July 31st is the Cold Spring Car and Truck and Bike Show at the Cold Spring Community Center.
All right. Well, I've got one.
Oh,
I ran across this. Don't ask me how I got it, but it got sent to Don at In Wheel Time. Tickets for the second annual Chattanooga Motor Car Festival, now available for purchase. 3-day event, October 15th through the 17th in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Awesome.
That would be an awesome road trip. Okay? The festival combines a road rally, a street race, concours d'elegance into one amazing family-friendly weekend. Guests will also enjoy a wide variety of additional activities, including car club gatherings, panel discussions, and other boring entertainment events like that. Concert on the main stage Saturday night, legendary charity cruise-in on Saturday, displays of historic Ferraris and other marquees.
Marquise.
Automobilia vendors, family-friendly activities for all. Proceeds go from the Chattanooga Motor Car Festival, support neuroscience research through 50 Plus Foundation, whatever. $39 one day. For 3 days, it's $89.
It's not bad.
it's not bad at all.
But that time of the year in
October, be beautiful. See some fall colors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
But if you go to Memphis, hell, it takes a day to drive across Tennessee, kind of like it does Texas, except Texas is as wide as it is long. Tennessee is like
just
30
long.
miles tall and 600 miles long.
But you got all the mountains.
Well, the hills.
Well, I call them mountains.
all right. Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars has the 2021 Wrangler 4XE.
I saw your post
Is
on
that
Facebook
is it
about
all electric?
No, it's a plug-in hybrid.
Okay.
They call it the 4XE. So I was really interested in driving this vehicle because I'd seen so much and heard so much about it. So it is a Jeep Wrangler. It comes in 4 trim levels with 7 sub-trims. So that's where you get into your Unlimited and things like that. But the interesting thing is the 4XE, you can only have it in a base Rubicon or Sahara. You can get your sub packages off of that, such as the Unlimited, which is what we had. We had the Rubicon Unlimited 4XE. So you're kind of limited to those two only. And a couple of things that we had. It was
Wonder why that is.
I'll get to that. I think I figured that out.
Okay, go ahead.
So we had the bright firecracker red with the black Sunrider soft top. That's something new that Jeep Performance Parts is offering
So that
out.
one? You had that one?
That's it.
Good looking
And
wheels.
had the steel
Don't
bumpers
interrupt
on it.
him, please.
Yeah, I have enough trouble staying focused as it is. So you're going to get the traditional 7-slot grill. This thing does have a vented hood. One of the shots later on kind of shows that, but you've got the LED lighting all the way around. You've got the automatic headlights, heated side mirrors. So it's a full off-road trail-rated package that you're going to get with this vehicle. 17 by 5 by 7-inch wheels, steel bumpers. And if I was going to change anything as far as the way it looks, nothing. I just make it easier to take the doors off, take the top down. But you get to the interior. So we had the leather interior seating because we had the Unlimited in the Rubicon package. And we had the heated front seats. We had the 7-inch gauge package. We had the 8.4-inch cluster or center stack monitor where we had our Uconnect and all our convenience controls, our 4G hotspot. We had some USB ports. We had the Alpine premium audio system, and it's got speakers kind of mounted to the roll bars and stuff, so it will fill this vehicle up. And you could take the doors off of it, and you could just blast it out all over the neighborhood or when you're on the beach where we were. Now, you get up under the hood. So this is where it gets real interesting because it's a plug-in hybrid. So it does have a 2.0-liter turbo that produces 375 horsepower.
4-cylinder turbo.
Yes. 375 horses. It's backed by the 8-speed transmission. They use it in a lot of things. It's a rock-solid transmission.
375 horsepower out of 2 liters.
Yes,
That's
sir.
a lot.
No, that's got to be combined with the electric.
It
It's a
is,
turbo.
it is. No, it's combined with
No,
the electric.
no, 300. No.
That's combined with
You're
the
going to make me
electric.
double-check that, but in my notes, that's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So the 8-speed automatic. Now, the thing is, the EV range on it, the battery's mounted under the seat, and with the 14 gears in it, it's 22 miles on the EV range. That's all it is. And
14 gears.
410. 14 gears in the
Oh,
rear. and
410
Yeah.
gears.
That's the Needville twang.
Yeah, my knee built. Anyway, so I thought at first, man, 22 miles, it's, where are you going to go? So I drove it around town first couple of days I got it, and I used up that. So by the time we got to the beach, it got to the sand to take the pictures and stuff, I didn't have much of the EV left at all. So, but I kind of figured after having the other one for a week, that lifestyle change we talked about last week, if you look at this, the way I see it, you go off-roading. That's where that torque from that EV engine, that EV setup comes in. Because on the sand, in the E, I had to figure out I had to lighten up my foot because there was so much torque there. It would spin the tires a lot easier than it would on a gas engine. So I had to adjust my driving.
That's right. Blame the truck.
No. Once I adjusted my driving, it wasn't a problem. So I can see driving to your off-road spot, then switch to the EV, which you can't do now. I'm hoping to fix that. And then use the EV for the off-road, and then you drive out of it on your regular gas engine. So,
Birkenstocks.
yeah, and here's a picture. Here's a picture of where you can plug it in. It's just like most of the regular plug-in hybrids. You can plug it in, charge it up. And I will say out on the highway, it does have that Jeep truck-like ride, but it's so much smoother than it was in the previous generation. It will see speeds that you normally don't see in a Jeep. No problem. Now, if you're looking for something to compare this to, you might look at the Toyota 4Runner or even the new Ford Bronco or the Land Rover Defender, but they don't have the E portion of it is the problem, to be able to go and do these kind of things that this does. So it's kind of out there in the front of it now. So the base Jeep Wrangler Unlimited is $42,200 to start with. Now,
but wait a minute. Let's clarify that. That's the Unlimited.
Yes, because
that's not the base Jeep.
Well,
it's the
base
it's
unlimited because what we were driving is an unlimited model. So I was trying to compare.
Point, yeah.
So, and the reason I did it that way is our base test vehicle for the Rubicon Unlimited 4XE is $51,695. So it's about a $9K bump to step up to that to the EV hybrid is what I'm trying to get to.
Well, that plus you also stepping up to the unlimited version.
Well, but I was going the base unlimited to an unlimited, so that the only thing you're doing is for it. So it's about $9K to go to the 4XE. But then again, we had some other things. So our MSRP as tested was $61,265. So it's a step out there.
And they will sell every one they build, and people will be waiting in line for them to build more.
Well,
that's the great thing about Jeep is they live in a world by their own because, you talked about all those other vehicles that compare to it, but they really don't.
No, they don't. And that's what I'm saying by looking at that lifestyle where I'm going to drive my ICE, my internal combustion engine, to my off-road point, get the benefit of having the two electric motors and having all that torque, and then I'm going to drive my gasoline engine home. I can see that. I didn't realize it at first, but after I drove it for a while and realized that would be great.
That's the way to do it.
Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available at your favorite podcast provider. In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Let me tell you about a locally owned and operated group of dealerships called Bayway. Bayway owner Daryl Wisniewski is born and raised right here, and he knows Houstonians better than anyone. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, Bayway Lincoln, and Bayway Chevrolet are managed by Lincoln Stahl. And when you get to know these guys, you'll want to become part of the Bayway family too. Feel good that you're part of Houstonian-owned Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com, BaywayChevrolet.com, and BaywayLincoln.com. Remember the name, Bayway. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in returns Saturday, August 21st at 2 Loopy Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods at 2 locations. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Loopy Tortilla Mexican restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard just south of of I-10 in Katy, and Inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in. Tailpipes and tacos at Loopy's Inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10, where you'll see the In Real Time Car Show. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in at Loopy's in Katy and Kirby, August 21st, 8 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.